Okay, trying to get started. Like the pre-show right now. Trying to get all my notes together, get my shit together, you know what I'm saying? So, and everything. What's up, everyone? This is Dominique Mack, your host, to the Tatted IT, where I share anything related to information technology, careers, what's big in the industry, what's on my mind about the industry, my journey, some advice that I like to share to y'all and everything. Just anything and everything about IT. So today, sorry, trying to get myself together. But today I want to talk about my first certification, second try taking it. I passed the second time, of course. And I would like to share my experience. I like to share give you some advice on how to pass the Network Plus N10 007 CompTIA certification exam. If I said that correctly, I probably said that all kind of messed up. I messed that shit up just now. So basically this episode is dedicated to passing the CompTIA Network Plus exam. So to start off, man, let me tell you, bruh. The first time, look at that shit, my light went out. But yeah, the first time I took the exam, man, I didn't know. Like, I studied so I gave myself a month. I challenged myself to study for at least a month to, for the exam and see if I could pass it, right? So I did that on my first attempt, and I thought I had a lot of knowledge behind it and everything. Which, when I look back at it now, like when I think about it now, I did have a lot of knowledge about it at the time. I just was very nervous about taking the exam because it's my first time taking an issued exam like this to be certified in anything, So, I'm a nervous wreck. I can become a nervous wreck when it comes to tests. Like, I'm not a really good test taker. Hands start getting sweaty. I start hyperventilating and shit. I start shit is terrible. I look terrible before I go in, take an exam or a big test like that. So, yeah, my first attempt, I was very nervous. I had a lack of time management. That was one big thing. One big thing that I had trouble. Probably the biggest thing I had trouble with my time management, because as soon as I started that damn exam, as soon as I pressed OK and start the first question, it was the first three questions, I think, or the first three or the first four were performance-based questions, and that shit killed me. Me not understanding and me not, taking advice from other people, I went on ahead and spent almost damn near, let's see, they give you 90 minutes to complete the exam. I probably spent a good 30 minutes on just those 4 questions, and it really killed me. Because when I got to the multiple choice, although I was flying through them, and some of them, I was like, I understand this, I don't understand this, so let me use, what you call it when you knock it out, elimination. Just start eliminating answers that didn't make sense. I started doing that. I still was 15 questions short of finishing. I did not finish, but I think the passing grade you have to have is above a 720. I was at a 600 at the time, or 620. I was at a 620 at the time. So I knew for a fact if I had any chance of finishing it, I probably would have passed barely, or would have come at least 10 points. I don't know. I probably become at least shy of passing for the first time, but I ain't gonna lie, that time management really killed me. Also, lack of understanding the questions, I feel like, was another thing. Even though I knew the answer, I didn't have. You can know something and not have a full understanding of it. So, sorry, just me talking and everything. I've been studying for another certification for the Azure AZ 900. That's for another video. But yeah, my brain kind of fried right now. So yeah, if I start talking kind of strange, you don't understand what I'm saying, it's the country slang mixed with my brain's shutting down right now because it's trying to get a break. So anyway, lack of understanding of the question. Like, I knew the answer, but I really didn't fully understand the question or the answer or why that answer made sense. So that kind of killed me as well. A lot of those questions I were guessing or trying to do the best I could with elimination. So yeah, so that was my first attempt. So my first attempt was just straight trash. So after my first attempt, I was like, you know what, man, like, why am I so nervous? Like, I get nervous all the time. I messed up with my time management. Like, I had no way of managing my time throughout the whole duration of the exam. And in the trying to understand the questions, understand the answer, that really killed me because of the fact that I knew the answer. Like, I literally knew the answer. Like, okay, this is DHCP, or this is the 802.11 AC, or this is a T568 alpha, standard, So I knew it, but I didn't realize I didn't understand, okay, why we use this standard instead of this standard. Why, what is the process of DHCP? Why do we use DHCP? Why AC is better Wi-Fi standard than 11 at the time, or why can't a wireless router that has 802.11G or A or whatever can't connect to a 802.11 N frequency? You get what I'm saying? So if that makes any sense, I'm just trying to pull stuff. I didn't really write nothing down. Well, I wrote things down, but not the examples. But yeah, anyway, you get what I'm saying. So just knowing the answer but not fully understanding what's behind it, the meat and potatoes behind it. So for my second attempt, I took everything from my first attempt, and when I went and did my my second try, which I'm gonna tell you, I prolonged that shit how many times. Shit, my wife was telling me at the time, like, go and take it, like, go and take it, like, why are you taking this? Like, you should have just went on ahead. As soon as you did the first attempt and failed, you should have went on ahead and you should have bought another voucher the next following week to give yourself a week of just refreshing everything in your mind. But I think my first attempt was around November, and I didn't take my second attempt until last month, the second weekend last month. And really I was supposed to take it this month. Matter of fact, 3 days ago, but Network Chuck, shout outs to him and everything, watching one of his live podcast or live video feeds, he kind of, pushed me and challenged me to go ahead and do it when he went and took the DevOps exam and passed it just by not studying. So I was like, if he can do it, I can do it. So I went on ahead and did it anyway. I think I watched his video that Monday and did that following Thursday. I took it and passed it and everything. So, but other than that, along with him giving me the confidence and my wife giving me the confidence, I also developed a way of understanding the concepts. I built up a certain amount of confidence when I walked into the area, man. With swag, I was like, I got this shit, dog. I got this, man. I ain't stressing about this exam. A big thing that really helped me as well is skipping the performance-based questions and skipping questions I did not know within the next 5 to 10 seconds. If I didn't know it within 5 to 10 seconds, I skipped it. So that really helped. And then looking over the exam topics before the exam, or looking at the objectives before the exam, that really kind of cooled me down, because I remember but when I went there an hour ahead, I got there an hour early, and the man wanted me to go, the proctor, he wanted me to go ahead and take the exam, and I was like, nah, man, I want to take the hour to just relax, look over the objectives, look over my study notes and everything, and it literally calmed me down. Like, the nervousness went away, my confidence was built up, like, everything was going good for me. I had it in my head that, I'm going to pass, but I really wasn't really focusing on passing or failing. If it happens, it happens. If it don't happen, it don't happen. And I'm going to try it again because I really want to get this but really want to get the certification, excuse me. Oh, Lord. So Yeah, so understanding concepts, being confident, skipping questions, and looking over the exam topics or the topics before the exam really helped me. So when I say understand the concepts, so I use the objectives as questions, and I literally print the objectives off the CompTIA website for Network Plus. I took those objectives and I literally sat down and I was just writing them out like, okay, describe the scenario. So I described everything within the sub objectives within every objective, the main thing, subtopics. So I literally wrote down this is this process is this. The process of, what's OSPF, open shortest path first. How do a router that goes into a network that's trying to understand OSPF, how does it tells everybody around him, hey, I'm new to the network? How does it get the map, or how does it know the network from the other routers that is connected to the neighboring routers? Stuff like that. Just writing everything down, understanding everything. And if I didn't understand it, I went ahead and I went back and refreshed my mind on that topic, which leads me to once I understood it myself, I went on ahead and I taught it to somebody else that didn't know nothing about it. So I would tell it to my mom, or I tell it to my little brother and explain it to him, saying, hey, let me tell you this real quick in the simplest form that I know how to. And if they could understand it and repeat it back at me, then I knew that I had a full understanding of it. And this way of doing it, it's called the Feynman technique. I think I'm saying it right. So this Pulitzer Prize or Nobel Prize winner, Pulitzer Prize winner, what is it? Let's see, Robert Feynman. Let's look him up real quick, because I know I'm messing his stuff up, his information up, and I really don't want to mess it up. So the Feynman technique is a mental model named after Richard Feynman, a Nobel Prize winning physicist. It's designed as a technique to help you pretty much learn anything. So understand concepts you don't really get, remember stuff you already learned, or study more efficiently. So basically what it means, to break it down, is he believed in breaking things down to the simplest form possible, to where you can explain it to a child. If you can break it down to a child's level and explain it to a child, and that child really understands that concept, then you actually have a good grasp of what that topic is about. And that's what I did. That's what I used. That and the Pomodoro technique, which people should know, every 25 minutes study, 5 minutes to break. I did 45 minutes of study, 15 minutes break. So that's how I did it, because that's how I would break up my hour study sessions. So I used that technique to help me in everything, to understand the actual concepts behind the answers that I were getting. So confidence. So the way I built my confidence, when I would teach somebody something new, like my mom, for example, about DHCP, right? I would say it with conviction, and I would break it down to where it'll be funny, because I like to be funny sometimes. So like, for example, I would say, man, so think of DHCP as like you new to the hood, right? And Dora is the process, discover. So you new to the hood, you trying to discover, like, hey, who's around, where I can get this information from, man. I need to know who's the plug out here, man, who the plug. And then the plug answers you and says, hey, I'm the plug, man, what you need. I'm gonna supply you with the IP address. I'll supply you with the default gateway and everything else that you need to, communicate to the neighborhood. And then that's the offer, and then once you do the offer, the request is, oh, thank you, hey, yo, that's word up. Thank you, man. Thank you, for giving me the information and everything and all that stuff. I'll use this stuff and everything. But, you said I have a certain time limit and everything? All right, cool. So I have a certain lease on my IP address and everything else. And then the acknowledgement is that the DHCP server or the plug, he was like, hey, yo, you welcome, man. Anytime, if you need anything, let me know. Holla at me. I can get you anything you want. So sorry if you don't really kind of understand what I'm saying. I probably can, in a later video, I'll probably break that down more efficiently. But that's just an example of how I would break stuff down to my mom, my little brother. And not only in that kind of context, I'll break it down in more like other contexts, as in cartoons for my brother, or a funny sitcom for my mom or something like that, just to use that as an example to explain to them the concept or topic that I'm trying to teach them. So that kind of built my confidence up. Not thinking about failing or passing. That's another thing. I didn't care if I failed or passed, bro. I really didn't care. At that time, I was like, yo, my first attempt I took it, I didn't pay. The second time I paid, and I was like, if I paid, I should be worried about it. But then when I'll not talk to Network Chuck, but what you can talk to Network Chuck, and every Monday he does a live feed and everything. You can actually talk to him. You just got to, donate to his cause. But anyway, listening to him, he said, just do it. Don't worry about nothing else. Don't stress yourself over paying for it and all this other stuff. Just go ahead and do it. And if you do it, you do it. If you pass, you pass. If you don't, you don't. Unless you're going to get up and do it again or just give up, So that kind of relaxed me a little bit and everything. And then, practice exams. When I say that helps, anybody that tells you to take practice exams, that really helps, because it put my mind in a state that when I got into the room and I was taking the exam, I literally thought that I was taking another practice exam. Mind you, every practice exam that I was taking before leading up to the main exam, I was passing with probably like a 80% and better. So I was, very confident in that. So just tricking my mind to think that the actual exam was a practice exam really helped as well. So skipping questions. I'm telling you, bro, if you're taking the Network Plus exam or any exam by that matter, whatever. So if you're taking any exam, I'm letting you know right now, if you don't know a question within the first 5 to 10, maybe even 15 seconds of you clicking to that, seeing that question, just in the next 10 to 5, let me go back, let me refresh myself. If you're on that question for more than 15 seconds, skip it and go to the next one. That helps, because when you get to the end of the exam, it will gladly let you know, hey, you skipped these questions, let's go back and let's get them and knock them out, right? Leave the performance-based questions alone. Skip them. Save them for the end. I repeat, leave the performance-based questions alone if they show up in the beginning, or matter of fact, any part of the exam. Skip them, go on to the multiple choice, finish the multiple choice, and then you have all the time in the world, not all the time in the world, but you have enough time to complete those performance-based questions. I did that, and I had 30 minutes to do all 4 performance-based questions. Just letting you know. So that really helped. Also, think about the concept behind each answer. If you skipped it and you go back to the question and you literally do not know the answer to that question, think about the concepts behind the other answers. Just all the answers you see, think about the concept, think about the question and the concepts behind each one. And to your best of your ability, see which one works. Plug and play. Plug and play in your mind. Okay, this ain't working, port security, 802.1x, radius servers, Kerberos. Like, you start thinking about it. Just plug and play and everything. So like I said, again, skip the questions if you're taking more than 15 seconds on each of them. You should spend no more from 5 to 15 seconds. I know I said 10, but I'm going to give you 15 just for a threshold. Leave the performance-based questions for last. Leave them for last. Okay, and then, like I said, look over the topics before the exam. So what I did for that was literally I dedicated an hour before the exam. So I got there an hour before taking it, and I literally just skimmed through all my notes. I sat there and I just looked over everything, refreshed my memory, saying, "Oh, okay, this is this, that." I said it out loud to myself. I started reading the stuff out loud to me, not as loud to where I fucking Like somebody thought that something was wrong with me type deal, but out loud to a point to where I could hear myself. But be at a whisper level, you know. It eliminated my nervousness. Like I was not nervous when I went into that testing facility. I was already in the testing facility. But yeah, like I said, it killed my nervousness. I went in there, I dominated, and I passed. So that's another good tip to have. Just look over the exam before you take it. Dedicate an hour before you get there, because I swear that hour really saved my life. Getting there when it's time for you to start 15 minutes prior, nah, it's not good. Getting there an hour before and just chilling, relaxing, calming yourself down really helps. So let me end this podcast with, like I said, don't worry about passing and failing. Don't worry about that. Like I said, if you really want it, if you fail, you go get it again, you know. Don't worry, don't stress yourself out with all that stuff. The external stressors, don't let them affect your mind. Don't let it affect your way of going into the test. Go in there with a clear head, low stress, and just dominate. Remember, the exam is for understanding, so try to understand the concepts behind every single topic. Like I said, it's not about, you need to know the facts, but you also need to understand the facts at the same time. Treat it like a practice exam. Like I said, it helped me. Like I said, every practice exam I took before the exam really helped me. Like I said, I scored above an 80% on every single practice exam I took, and it's a practice exam. Okay, cool. You know, trick your mind into thinking that way. And then, I'm gonna repeat it again. If you don't know it, skip it, and performance-based questions leave for last. I'm gonna say that again. All right, leave the performance-based questions for last. And yeah, I hope these strategies will help you, like as it did me and everything. Like I said, boost, have the understanding of the concepts, boost your confidence. Skipping the questions and looking over topics before the exam really helps. I'm telling you, that's my experience, and I give it upon you people. Not you people, but you. I give it up amongst y'all. Do as you see fits. God, my brain is so fried right now. But yeah, I hope this really helped you and everything. And like I said, man, if you're going for Network Plus or any cert that related to IT, man, I guarantee you this will help. And let me know in the description below. Let me know. Comment on my Twitter. Comment on my my LinkedIn. Comment on my YouTube channel. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know, anything that helped you out. Let me know, like, what helped you out when taking the exam, any of the IT exams and everything. Let me know what you did. What was your ritual that you did, or what steps did you take to calm yourself down and help you ace the exam and everything. So let me know. Again, I relay out my Twitter. My Twitter is at the tatted IT _. So not underscore. Let me replay that. My Twitter handle is the tatted _IT. That's THETATTED _ I T. Check me out at my LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is, or you can find me as Dominic. That's DOMONICK, Mac MACK on my LinkedIn. You can also find me on YouTube right now. My YouTube channel is the tatted IT. And what else I'm on? Oh, the podcast. Check out my podcast. Right now I'm on Anchor, the Anchor app right now. It's called the Tatted IT podcast. So check me out there. I think I'll be on Spotify, and because this is not my first podcast I did and everything. But now since I'm doing something I love, I'm loving this, I get talking that goofy and do this too. So yeah, check me out on Anchor. I think I'll be coming on Spotify and other podcast platforms soon. So thank you for listening. Subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Matter of fact, subscribe everywhere. If you're on YouTube, Anchor, if you're on Twitter, follow me. If you're on LinkedIn, follow me. I want to know about you. I want to hear about your journey in IT. I want to know everything about what you're doing in IT and everything. And there'll be many, many more episodes coming up. So thanks for the love, peace. Oh, and stay not quarantine. That's bad. That sound bad. Stay quarantined. Nah, stay healthy. Stay healthy. Stay indoors, or not stay indoors. I really don't. That's another episode about this whole epidemic. But just stay healthy. Eat healthy stuff, and just keep on learning. Use this time to actually study, and once all this calms down, you can go forth and probably be a beast at or demolish 3 certification exams all at once. I don't know, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get Azure certified and Security Plus certified, so that's what I'm doing. So yeah, peace, love, I'm out.